You got the raise. Maybe it was $5,000 more a year, maybe $15,000. Maybe you switched jobs and jumped $20,000 overnight. And for a moment, it felt incredible, like you had finally made it. So you upgraded your apartment, got a nicer car, started eating out more, bought the things you had been putting off. And here is the thing. You could technically afford all of it. But here is what nobody told you. You now make more money than you ever have in your life. And you have almost nothing to show for it. That is lifestyle inflation. And it is quietly one of the most destructive financial forces affecting Canadians in their 20s and 30s. Today, we are going to show you exactly how much it is costing you. In real dollars over real time. And by the end of this video, you are going to feel it. Because we are not talking about vague concepts. We are talking about a specific number. A number that represents the wealth you are actively destroying every time your lifestyle catches up to your income. That number is going to land in segment 3. Stay for it. Let's start with a clear definition. Because lifestyle inflation is not as obvious as it sounds. Lifestyle inflation, sometimes called lifestyle creep, is when every increase in your income is matched by an equal or greater increase in your spending. It is not always dramatic. You are not buying a yacht. It is subtle. It is moving from a $1,400 per month apartment to a $1,900 one. Because the new place has in-suite laundry, and you deserve it after working this hard. Going from cooking 5 nights a week to ordering in 4 nights. Because you are busy now, you are earning more, and meal prep feels like something your broke self used to do. Trading a paid-off 2015 Honda Civic for a 2024 lease. Because it is time, you are a professional now, and the monthly payment is manageable. Adding a gym membership, a streaming service, a meal kit delivery subscription, a premium coffee habit. Each one individually reasonable. Each one individually justified. The sneaky part is that every single decision feels earned, because your income went up. You worked for this. You sacrificed. You deserve better things. And that feeling, that completely understandable, completely human feeling, is exactly what makes lifestyle inflation so dangerous. It does not feel like a mistake. It feels like progress. But here is the distinction most people never make. Spending more is not the same as building more. You can spend more every year for 30 years and have less financial security at 55 than someone who made less money than you and spent with intention. The difference is not income. It is what happens between earning and spending. In Canada, this plays out at every income level. According to Statistics Canada, the median after-tax income for Canadians aged 25 to 34 is approximately $47,000 per year. In Toronto, average rent for a one-bedroom is over $2,400 per month, $28,800 per year before a single other expense. Add groceries, transit, phone, insurance, and occasional dining, and you are already near the median income ceiling. But it gets worse as incomes rise, because the person earning $120,000 is making the same proportional mistakes with bigger numbers. Your action step: pull up your bank and credit card statements from 12 months ago. Calculate your monthly spending then. Now, calculate it today. If your spending grew faster than your net worth, lifestyle inflation is already at work. Before we get to the numbers that will hurt, let us set the stage with the Canadian reality. Because lifestyle inflation does not operate in a vacuum. It operates inside a cost-of-living environment that has become one of the most expensive in the developed world. The income reality According to Statistics Canada, the median after-tax household income in Canada for 2024 was approximately $68,400. For individuals aged 25 to 34, approximately $47,000. For ages 35 to 44, closer to $58,000. These are median numbers. Half of Canadians earn less. The cost reality. Average rent for a one-bedroom apartment in Toronto as of early 2026, approximately $2,369 per month, $28,428 per year. In Vancouver, $2,536 per month. In Calgary, $1,750 per month. Average Canadian grocery bill for a single person, approximately $400 to $500 per month, $4,800 to $6,000 per year. A car lease, mid-range, runs approximately $600 to $900 per month, including insurance. That is $7,200 to $10,800 per year. A smartphone plan, internet, streaming subscriptions, approximately $200 to $300 per month. Another $2,400 to $3,600 per year. Add these up for a single Canadian in Toronto. Rent, $28,428. Groceries, $5,400. Transportation, $9,000. Phone, internet, subscriptions, $3,000. Total, $45,828 before a single restaurant meal, coffee, clothing purchase, or vacation. At a median individual income of $47,000, that leaves approximately $1,172 for everything else in the year, pre-tax, and income tax has not even been applied yet. This is the environment in which lifestyle inflation operates. Every upgrade, every step up in apartment, every car lease, every additional subscription, in this environment does not just reduce discretionary spending. It eliminates wealth building entirely. And here is the part that actually matters. When you get a raise in this environment, say your income goes from $60,000 to $75,000 after tax, you receive approximately $7,500 more per year, about $625 per month. That is real breathing room. But here is what typically happens within 6 months. Apartment upgrade, plus $400 per month. Car payment or upgrade, plus $150 per month. Dining and social life expansion, plus $100 per month. That is $650 per month, more than the raise. The raise came. The lifestyle followed. The savings rate, 0. This is not a hypothetical. This is the pattern Statistics Canada data and financial literacy surveys consistently show for Canadian earners across income brackets. Your action step. Take your last pay increase. Calculate the after-tax value. Now list every recurring expense that increased in the 6 months after that raise. If the expenses match or exceed the raise, you have your answer. Here it is. The vault from the opening. The number. And I want you to pay close attention, because this is not a vague estimate. This is compound interest applied to real lifestyle inflation decisions. Scenario A versus Scenario B. You are 28 years old. Your income just increased by $1,000 per month after tax. Scenario A. You invest $500 per month and lifestyle inflate the other $500. Scenario B. You lifestyle inflate the full $1,000. 0 invested. We will assume a 7% average annual return, a conservative long-term assumption for a diversified Canadian ETF portfolio like XEQT. We will run this to age 60, that is 32 years. Scenario A, investing $500 per month, at 7% compounded annually for 32 years. That $500 per month becomes $647,000. Scenario B, investing nothing, zero. The cost of fully lifestyle inflating a $1,000 per month raise over 32 years is $647,000. Let that sit for a moment. That is not a rounding error. That is not a hypothetical. That is what the compound interest formula produces when you either feed it or starve it. $647,000. Gone. Not spent on one thing, spent on hundreds of small things that each felt justified at the time. Restaurant meals, a nicer apartment, a lease, subscriptions, clothes. Now let us scale this to a Canadian career. Most Canadians aged 25 to 55 experience multiple income increases through promotions, job changes, and career progression. Let us say conservatively that across a 30-year career, a Canadian's income increases by an average of $500 per month in real after-tax terms every 5 years. 6 increases total. Each time, the lifestyle catches up within 6 months. Nothing invested from the raise. Here is what was destroyed. Nearly $1.9 million. That is the cost of a career of lifestyle inflation, where every raise is absorbed by spending rather than invested. And the colleague who made the same income and invested half of every raise has nearly $2 million more at retirement, tax-free, inside a TFSA and RRSP from the same salary. Now here is the gut punch. That $1.9 million number assumes a 7% return. Canada's primary equity ETF, XEQT, has averaged approximately 8% to 10% since inception. The number is likely higher, and it assumes only $500 per month per raise, not the full raise. If you lifestyle inflate the entire raise, double it. This is the real cost of lifestyle inflation, not the $200 dinner, not the $600 lease payment. The compounded, multiplied, irreversible opportunity cost of money that was spent instead of grown. Your action step: open a compound interest calculator right now. Enter whatever amount you estimate you lifestyle inflate per month. Enter 7%. Enter your years to retirement. That number, the one staring back at you, is the price tag of lifestyle creep. So why does this happen to smart people? People who read articles like this, watch videos like this, and still let lifestyle inflation consume every raise. There are 3 psychological forces at work, and unless you name them, you cannot fight them. Force 1. Hedonic adaptation. Humans adapt to new circumstances with startling speed. That new apartment that felt incredible in week 1, by month 3, it is just your apartment. The car that made you feel successful, it is just how you get to work now. We constantly reset our baseline of what feels normal, which means we constantly need more to feel the same level of satisfaction we felt before. This is called the hedonic treadmill. You run. You spend. Your baseline rises. You run faster. The treadmill never stops. Research from positive psychology consistently shows that material upgrades produce short bursts of satisfaction, typically lasting weeks to a few months, before reverting to baseline. The $300 per month rent upgrade felt amazing for 90 days. Then it was just rent. Force 2. Social comparison. In Canada, especially in cities, we are surrounded by visible signals of wealth. The colleague with the new car, the friend who just bought a condo, The Instagram feed full of restaurants and travel. We measure ourselves against others. And when those around us upgrade, we feel a pull to keep up. Not because we consciously decide to, but because the comparison operates below the level of rational decision-making. The problem is what psychologists call the reference point illusion. You are comparing your insides to everyone else's outsides. You do not see their debt. You do not see their credit card balance. You do not see what they had to borrow to produce that Instagram life. You only see the surface, and you measure yourself against it. Force 3. The "I deserve it" trap. This is the most seductive of the three because it is not wrong. You did work hard. You did earn the raise. You do deserve good things in your life. But "I deserve it" is one of the most expensive phrases in personal finance because it is used to justify any purchase at any amount, at any time, with complete emotional conviction. Deserving something and being able to afford it in the context of long-term wealth building are two different calculations, and mixing them is what lifestyle inflation depends on. Your action step. For your next discretionary purchase, identify which of the three forces is driving the decision. Is it hedonic adaptation pushing you toward an upgrade? Social comparison pulling you toward something someone else has? Or the "I deserve it" signal? Naming the force does not prevent the purchase, but it converts an automatic decision into a conscious one. Okay, here is where we turn this around. This video is not about punishing yourself. It is not about never upgrading your life. It is about being intentional, so that when your income goes up, your future goes up too, not just your lifestyle. Here are 5 strategies that actually work. Strategy 1. Pay yourself. First, automatically. The single most effective defense against lifestyle inflation is to automate your savings before you ever see the money. Every time you get a raise, immediately increase your automated TFSA or RRSP contribution to capture at least 50% of the after-tax increase. Set up the automatic transfer the same week the raise takes effect. You cannot spend what you never see. This one habit, applied consistently every time income increases, will do more for your financial future than almost anything else. In Canada, the TFSA is your primary vehicle here. Contributions grow tax-free. You can invest in diversified equity ETFs like XEQT or VDY. You can withdraw any time without penalty or tax consequences. The 2026 TFSA annual limit is $7,000 with a cumulative room of $109,000 for anyone who has been eligible since 2009. If you are not maximizing your TFSA first, that is the starting point. Strategy 2. Apply the raise rule. Anytime you receive a raise, apply this split before making any spending decisions. 50% goes directly to TFSA or RRSP contributions or additional mortgage prepayments. 30% can go toward intentional lifestyle improvements, the things that genuinely improve your quality of life and that you have chosen consciously. 20% goes toward debt elimination or emergency fund building. This is not about deprivation. You still get to enjoy more. But you are building wealth simultaneously, not just spending more. The critical word is intentional. The 30% lifestyle improvement is not whatever your habits drift toward. It is a conscious choice about what actually makes your life better, not what your social comparison instincts demand. Strategy 3. Define your enough. Before your next raise, answer this question. What does your ideal life actually cost? Not your dream life, not the Instagram life. Your actual, daily, genuinely satisfying life. The one that gives you energy, comfort, meaningful experiences, and peace of mind. Write it out. rent, food, transportation, a reasonable travel budget, a fun fund, a fitness budget. Put numbers on it. Then protect that number. Not as a permanent ceiling forever, but as a deliberate floor that you raise intentionally rather than automatically. Because the alternative is letting your lifestyle set its own ceiling, and it will always choose the highest one it can reach. Strategy 4. Audit your subscriptions and fixed costs. Every 6 months, lifestyle inflation loves subscriptions. They are small, automatic, and invisible. Every 6 months, open your bank statement and list every recurring charge. Ask yourself for each one, am I actively using this? Does this bring real, ongoing value to my life? The average Canadian has 4 to 6 subscriptions they have forgotten about. According to recent consumer research, Canadians underestimate their monthly subscription spending by an average of 40%. That is $50 to $200 per month in money going to services that are not improving your life. Cancel anything you cannot clearly say yes to. Redirect that amount to your TFSA the same day. Strategy 5. Track net worth, not income. Here is the mindset shift that changes everything. Stop measuring your financial success by how much you make. Start measuring it by how much you keep and grow. Your net worth, assets minus liabilities, is the only financial scoreboard that tells you where you actually are. Track it monthly. Use a simple spreadsheet. Your TFSA value, RRSP value, bank balance minus any debt. Watch the number. Grow the number. When your identity shifts from I earn well to I am building real wealth, your spending decisions change. Because you are now playing a different game. And it is a game you can win. Your action step: calculate your net worth right now. Assets minus liabilities. Write the number down. Set a reminder to recalculate it in 30 days. Whatever that number is, your job is to make it higher every single month. Let's come back to where we started. Got the raise. The lifestyle upgraded. The bank balance stayed flat. Here is what we now know. That pattern, repeated 6 times across a career, costs nearly $1.9 million in compounded tax-free wealth. Not in one bad decision, in hundreds of small ones that each felt completely reasonable. But here is the other version of that story. Gets the raise. Immediately sets up an automatic transfer, 50% to the TFSA. Applies the raise rule to the rest. Defines their enough. Audits subscriptions every 6 months. Tracks net worth instead of income. By 60, same career, same employer, same city. The difference between the 2 versions of is not luck. It is not a better salary. It is not a smarter investment. It is one habit, making sure that every time income went up, the future went up too. Not just the lifestyle. There are 2 versions of your future self. One made more money than they ever imagined, and spent almost all of it. They are still working at 65 because they have to be. The other made the same money, and kept a little more of it, consistently, over decades. They have options. You do not need a perfect savings rate. You do not need to live like a monk. You need to make sure that every time your income goes up, your future gets something too. Not just your lifestyle.